record in two places. Welcome aboard, all you wonderful groomers, pet stylists, and canine cosmetologists. You found the Traveling Groomers Podcast, where we discuss lessons learned from mobile and house call grooming. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. Any moment now, we'll be joined by my co-host and friend, retired mobile groomer and educator extraordinaire, Mary Aquendo, and very likely a special guest to help us chat about all things grooming, grooming industry related, and just plain fun digressions that I will totally wrangle back to topic. Grab those travel mugs and climb aboard to see where today's topic will bring us. Let's roll.
Okay, so welcome to another episode of the Traveling Groomers Podcast. What Chris and I would like to do is do a series on sort of like the life stages of a groomer. Okay, is that a good way to put it?
Yes, yeah, and we'll get into why later, but yeah, basically life stages of a groomer. And we have with us to discuss life stages, Ms. Ashley Hanvey, Mrs. Ashley Hanvey.
Mrs.
And why, if we're talking about life, why is it so appropriate that Ashley joins us today? Why is that, Ashley?
Because I'm knocked up.
Because Ashley is currently baking. She's got a bun in the oven. She is
Yep. Got what, six, just shy of 6 weeks left ish, give or take.
Ooh, till you're due.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
When that turkey timer pops up.
Is that your belly button? I feel like it's the belly button because I've seen innies turn from innies to outies on some very pregnant women. So it's like that's your turkey baster. Just a button. No.
Yeah, it's definitely trying to do that, and it creeps me out.
Oh, I don't blame you. I can't say as
Well, you're
I've ever
carrying an entire person in your body.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, my resident alien / parasite.
Yeah.
Wow, resident alien is very very, very apropos because it's residing in you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So
Wait a second, Mary. You said welcome to this episode. I wonder what episode that would be. Because ladies and gents.
That's right. Because Chris has an outline.
Which
I don't have a copy of.
No, you don't have a copy of this week because we determined last week that it just stresses you out and annoys you. So I'm going to attempt to just keep it wrangled in my mind.
Yeah. So then I have no idea how to move it off topic then. Now, do I? Okay. All right.
And I may or may not have written digression in my outline and you don't even know where. And the power.
Love it.
Oh, that hurt. But yes, ladies and gents, welcome to episode number 221, recorded on July 26th, airs on August 2nd. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, I don't know why I did the bum, bum, bum. I felt it. Because I can is always a good answer. So we have Ashley here. We know why she's here. Do we want to catch up and see how our weeks were? Ashley, how was your week? How are your clients taking?
Yeah, let's start there. How are your clients taking the fact that you're pregnant?
They've all agreed with the hubby to me taking a whole month off early before my due date.
Ooh.
So my last day in the van is August 4th, and my due date is August 29th.
Okay. And I agree with them. From someone who's had 3 kids, you need that time off.
It's also South Carolina. We're very hot and humid right now. And I'm mobile. And while I'm nice and cool inside my van, Every time I go outside, I become miserable.
So of the 3 kids, only one was late. And you want to guess the month that she was doing that she was late?
Would that be August?
Yes. 10 days late in August during a heat wave. And we were poor. So at best we had is a couple of fans. So.
Well, I have it on fairly good authority that almost as bad as being late in August is trying to breastfeed in August under a blanket in public. Because in the 70s, one did not just whip out a boob. It was not done. So there's,
I think a lot has changed. So
yes.
For anyone that's nursing, whip out those boobs. Please do not put a blanket over you.
Oh yeah,
You're
please,
in the middle of a heat wave.
And you know what? Maybe we'll either revisit this with you in 6 months, or we'll find someone who's like, oh, me. I've just had a baby. I want to talk about the immediate after and going back to work, or bringing kids to work and bringing babies to work.
Yeah, that's not possible. Obviously, being in a van, can't safely transport a baby in a mobile van.
Now, would there be car seats that fit?
No, the problem is going to be that the vans just have the cab area, so there's no back seat. Okay. And the only options then for infants would to be put a jump seat in, and that's not going to be very safe either.
Yeah. And then you have the whole, they need to mask up and ear protection. And so you have the entire baby swathed behind like a surgical mask and have the headphones that's crushing their little soft, squishy egg heads.
Well, the sound suppression wouldn't be too terrible, in the cab of the Hanvey. The bigger problem I would run into would be, one, obviously the safety of having a car seat up there, but 2, actually making it to my next appointment because my customer wants to coo over the baby.
That is
you're going to add 8
valid.
hours. You're going to add 8 hours to your day.
Yeah, easily.
You just, you know what, when you're going stir crazy, but you're not ready for work yet, you can, how about this? You have Chris drive you, and you make it a pretext for your favorite customers that you know are going to, going to want to coo over the baby. You see how they usually like, I just want to touch base and see what condition the dog is in for its grooming appointment next week. And you stop by like 4 or 5, because it'll take you all day to do the 4 or 5.
Yeah, I would most definitely do that.
And that's, I think that's something you do if you're totally going star crazy and you need to get out of the house. Because I have moments like that where I need to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get too far ahead, Mary, what were you up to this week? Let's play catch up before I drop my week on y'all.
Oh, yeah. Chris has had a hell of a week.
Yes.
Comparative, it's been actually a very nice week. It finally rained here. We haven't had rain in a month, which is a little unusual for the Pacific Northwest. And it just let down a torrential rainstorm, which was actually really nice. But other than that, it's been just a week, Chris.
Nice.
Nothing exciting. Everything works in my house.
Everything works in your house. How about your body? How's everything working on your body?
Yes, it is.
Because mine's, I'm not going to call it a piece of crap, because I need my body. I respect it. We have to work together. But we need to have a little talk. So remember last week, I said, I felt stupid going and getting an MRI on a perfectly fine ankle because I feel so much better. Remember those words? I've got a torn tendon. I've got a torn tendon. So that pop I heard in Colorado was my body ripping apart. So fun. I have surgery scheduled for August 23rd. I have a knee walker thing coming tomorrow that we ordered off Amazon because, yes, we just gave up and ordered something off Amazon.
Yeah, weren't you supposed to get the insurance one on Monday?
Hours. I spent hours on the phone. The one the insurance was going to cover was a scooter, one of those like rolly things that you need hands for and you can't really do stairs with. And so the list, the insurance, how long do I want to drag this out? Through a combination of stupidity and stubbornness between the insurance company and the doctor, that didn't happen. On the list of providers they gave me, I found one that carried the piece of equipment I needed. And they wanted stuff faxed over from my doctor. And my doctor is like, yeah, I don't know these people. I'm not going to fax over your personal medical records to some phone number I don't know. And I can't really blame him. You know what I mean? I can only be so annoyed because he is, while I also recognize he's playing CYA and doesn't want to get sued, he's also working to protect me. Fine, I get it. I would have to come in and sign a form. But not only does he not want me driving or walking, and going in and signing a form would involve both of those things. The universe is a fucking wise ass. Because while I have a car, I would be doing some driving, right? Because you know me. Even my mother today went, because I said, well, I'm not really supposed to be driving until at least the end of September. And she's like, yeah, but if you had a car, you'd be driving, right? And Cam almost spits out his soda because for all the stuff and the headbutting that I do with my mother, she knows me. So yeah. So today I was informed that what I thought was a minor breakdown my car had yesterday was in fact an engine problem. And they recommend a new engine. And why would I spend between $4,000 and $6,000 on a new engine for a 2014 vehicle, Mary? Why would I do that?
You wouldn't. And here's the thing too, because I was researching the lemon laws on your behalf for New Jersey. And I think your vehicle has to be like a 2016 or younger. Your 2014 may not even qualify for the lemon laws.
No, I know. I looked at it briefly and I'm like, yeah. So, and I called my insurance. And I can't believe that this is a situation where I would have been better off if I'd have been in a wreck. Yep. Because then my insurance would have done some stuff. Now they're just like, oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. They used the unfortunate word with you?
They didn't. I think she said, oh, that's too bad. But yeah, there's no incident for us to cover. Nothing happened. Yes. So.
Okay. So being as I don't have the outline in front of me is
no, we've got about 2 more minutes. We've got about 2 more minutes because I want to I want to one now. Heck with it. Let's go crazy and take our first commercial break. Hanvey Engineering isn't just for mobile groomers. I have loved my Hanvey equipment for years before I even thought of getting a mobile van, and I wouldn't want to groom without my bathing beauty and hair vac. With every piece of equipment in their van and outside of it having its own QR code linked to troubleshooting tips and fixes, these low maintenance workhorses turn potential roadblocks into mere speed bumps. Check them out yourself at hanvey.com.
Okay, so Ashley, back to you.
Yes. And go, Mary. That was in segment 2. Segment 2 was some of the realities of grooming while pregnant. See, Ashley, she knows stuff.
Okay, so probably what has been the worst inconvenience, not a problem, but an annoyance being pregnant while working. Let's start there.
Having to pee.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
I finally gave in and got a porta potty.
Finally broke.
It was only $100.
How's it work? How are
It's
you finding it?
It is amazing. It's the best thing I've ever put in my van.
oh, okay. Now I have to go Google porta potty.
Oh,
It
she'll
fits
have a
under my
specific
tub.
one for you. Now, what's the maintenance like? What's the cleaning like on this?
I haven't done anything with it yet. The capacity on it will probably get me until maternity leave starts.
Oh, nice.
It flushes and everything.
Where does it flush to?
It's got 2 compartments. So the top one
Oh.
is where the water is and the seat. And then the bottom is that gets sealed is where all the urine goes.
So 2 very important questions. The first is, how low is it? Like, would I even be able to get up if I tried to use it?
I'm not finding it terrible. I sit just a little bit lower than my knees, but it's not terrible.
All right, because
But you're also in a van and have lots of stuff to
hold
yoink
on.
yourself up to. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But
All
it's
right.
not like it's super short.
Okay, so I'm up on Amazon, and they're ranging in price from the cheap end is like $40, and I'm not sure I'm going to use that one. Up to $1,000, but most of them are in and around that $100 mark.
So Ashley, why don't you send Mary the link
Yep.
to the one you got? Because I know you have it, and then we will put it in
Right, so-
our show notes.
All right, send the link to me via Facebook Messenger so I know where it is. And you don't have to do this very minute. When
Already done.
You're good. You're really good, Ashley. All right, so the question is now about a porta potty. Is this something you think you're going to keep in afterwards?
Probably because considering that the child has literally been growing on top of my bladder this entire time, I will likely still need it afterwards until I can, deal with that part.
All right, so at some point it's going to have to be emptied. And what's the process? How difficult is it?
So the bottom part is sealed. So all I have to do is just unhook 2 sides, pop off the top where the fresh water and the thing is, and then literally just carry it to a bathroom and dump it into a toilet.
Oh,
Now
very
I'm not
cool.
putting I'm not doing number 2. I'm also not putting any
paper
paper
product.
towel or anything, paper products in it. So
Okay, so that was my second question. How does it handle the poo?
I mean, you can, you are able to do that. I'm just choosing to not have to deal with that. I'm choosing not to do with that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
I
But for somebody, let's say that has like IBS or something like that.
yeah.
It's definitely for both. You can definitely do both in this. It's just, I don't personally need it for that.
Okay. Yeah, I would just assume you would have to dump it a little more often.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They
Okay.
have you put like tabs and stuff like that in there to help with any smell. I've actually just been using my disinfectant that I keep in the van. I just spritz it when I rinse it, and that's been working for me.
Okay. Now, can you use paper products
Yeah.
in it? Like if you choose to wipe, say, if you need to number two.
Yeah, the diameter of the spout that dumps is actually quite large.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely
I've
like
had
best $100 I've spent in a really long time.
I've had one or two Ozempic emergencies, so or Ozempic related emergencies. So
Yes.
that's really good to know because I know that happens and that creeps up on you.
Yep.
And sometimes you've got about a minute and a half max.
Yeah, I'm really glad I bought it.
Okay.
So what is the first thing? What is the first thing you noticed that was a difference? Was peeing the first and the biggest thing?
Yes, because I sit to groom already.
Okay.
So I'm only on my feet for bathing generally anyway. And especially this week, I've noticed just standing at my tub to bathe is becoming uncomfortable. But since I sit to groom, that has probably taken a lot longer for me to notice because, the whole second half of my grooming day is spent in my saddle chair.
So is it mainly as you get larger, is it trying to get close enough to the table been an issue?
I have been informed that I am not very large and people are very mad at me for it.
Okay.
So far, no, I've not had an issue with that.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that
now,
just means there's only one in there. And
Yes.
you're also a petite person, so that's fair.
People keep telling me I'm petite, but I just never agreed with that. But I guess I am.
we're all going to agree you're petite. Okay.
Yeah, you're petite. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Okay. What about your attire? How has that affected what you wear while grooming?
Okay, I've gotten really lucky. So way back when I first started the mobile business, I had gotten some grooming pants that ended up not fitting me. They were too large and they didn't have a drawstring. So they've just been sitting in a drawer and I have now pulled them out and can wear them.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Awesome.
I absolutely love buying something I have no use for, but I thought it was good. And I'm thinking, I just bought crap, put it away. And then years down the line, they're like, I'm using it. I'm using the thing I bought years ago because apparently now I need it.
Yep. Yeah. So one thing that I have been trying really hard to do is to not buy any new clothes because I'm only in the van for another week and a half. So I can just, stay in my house and, not wear much. So I really didn't want to have to buy anything if I didn't need to, because I'm not planning on making being pregnant a habit. So I did get some different shirts because I don't fit in my smocks anymore. So I just got some like moisture wicking t-shirts that are all the same color because I like to at least, coordinate.
Mhm.
And then I just have the pants that I couldn't use. I've been using those and I think I'm actually going to make it the next week and a half with those pants. And I'm a very happy person.
Nice.
That's good.
So what do you consider not a habit? And how will this, and we will revisit whatever you say, we're going to revisit this a year from now. FYI.
As in, Chris is lucky he's getting one so far.
Okay. So far. And how many did he want?
How many do you want?
More than one.
He wants more than one.
That is fair. That is fair. And as someone who's some bizarre combination of a youngest child and an only child, the kids are never going to be happy. Like if you have siblings, they're going to want to be an only child. If they were an only child, they're going to really want siblings. But it is very nice to have a sibling that,
Chris grew up in a fairly large family. On top
Mhm.
of having multiple siblings, his parents did foster care.
Oh,
So
wow.
he's been in it. I only had my sister, and we hated each other's guts until we were adults,
Mhm.
and I moved away.
And now,
And now she adores me and I adore her
see,
from
there you
afar.
go. From afar. That is a key word
It's
sometimes.
it's not a bad thing. It's just she's a very
Strong-willed individual.
as Chris puts it, a strong-willed individual. She kind of reminds me of Mary.
I'm gonna take she's an awesome person then.
Oh, she
dear
is.
God.
Definitely.
Wow. Okay. So on that note, I am saved by the bell, and let's take our next commercial break. I've been swiveling for years now with my evolution shears, but I wasn't actually born with a pair of swivel shears in my hands. Check out our website and Facebook page for our library of how-to videos, or give me a shout for a personalized guide. Your hands will thank you. Don't forget, Traveling Groomers Podcast listeners get $10 off and free shipping with the code on the road, all one word. What are you waiting for? Give them a try today. And by the way, Mary, I chuckle like that because I feel like if we had to grow up together, we would eventually get to the part where we adore each other from afar, but there may have been like hospital visits before then.
Oh, I mean, I could tell you about my brothers,
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah,
but we're not, because that's not what this episode is about.
it's not.
So we'll save that for maybe an episode on toxicity in family relationships. But anyway,
You know, that is coming up, and we're going to touch more on that in our last segment where we discuss coming soon.
okay.
I
All right,
will
I'm
do with the baby thing. I am also 36 this year. So
Okay.
the clock is ticking. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
all right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was a baby when I had my first kid, and still a baby because the other two came right after that. I think probably the biggest shock I had, and I don't know looking back on why I was actually shocked over it, but at that time they encouraged us to put on a lot of weight. Okay, a lot. So I don't know why after I had a 7-pound baby, that all of that weight I put on would magically disappear and I could fit into my regular clothes going. I had my husband actually bring me my regular clothes to go home, which,
Oh,
needless to say,
bless.
yeah, did not fit. I had to go home in my maternity pants. I was really pissed.
You know what, though? I understand, because we see celebrities, and like we see on TV, celebrities pop out babies, and then you see them 2 months later and they're in these like bodycon dresses like nothing freaking happened, because that's part of their job to look a certain way.
Okay.
And that's what we don't fully, they have trainers and people to cook for them and stuff, and people who carefully manage their diets and this and that. And that's, their looks are part of their job. But if you don't really think about that hard and just kind of go, what do you mean? She was pregnant 3 months ago. Here she is on the red carpet, like looking amazing, wearing 3-inch heels. What the hell?
Yeah. And 3 months later, the rest of us are trying to get out of our maternity pants and into regular clothes again. Good luck doing that.
And have cereal or baby spit up in our hair, that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, no red carpet for me. So anyway, moving it along. So tell us, let's see some of the perks of being pregnant while being a
Yeah.
groomer. So what have been like the good things?
I don't feel even remotely guilty when I have a day I'm not feeling well and don't go to work.
Okay.
Not that I have problem clients or that they'd have an issue with it. It's just usually if I am sick, I still feel guilty anyway, even though my clients are wonderful. But right now, I don't give a shit.
That's fair.
That's fair. Will not argue with that. Go ahead, Chris.
I was supposed to go to a grooming appointment after my podiatrist appointment,
Mm-hmm.
and I canceled them because I was not right in the head. I had to process this news. I canceled them. I canceled the following day. And yeah, I needed to wrap my head around it, and they were fine. And that's where there's like a fine line with customer relations now. Like, you don't want to 100% be, well, what are your clients? You know, when someone says, well, I mean, my mother says, what are your clients going to do for in reality, about 10 weeks without you? And while the temptation to say, not my fucking problem, is great, there's a little bit of truth to that.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so much I can do. And I legit, for some of them, when I knew I could, I'm like, okay, I have referrals, but that's all I can do. It's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to take care of myself and heal my body, because I'd like to be doing this for another 20 years. I know that's putting me at pretty old, but I would like to do this until I absolutely can't and have my retirement plan in place to go. And I just love doing it. So if we have the right clients, they'll be okay with that.
Yeah, and I really want to emphasize that point. The right clients will be okay with whatever it is you throw at them. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving one year. So I had a client who followed me from Petco, a 4-week schnauzer, miniature schnauzer, Macbeth to be precise, and Macbeth was a pain in the ass. Okay. But my husband had a kidney transplant, and when they did the transplant, they nicked his intestine.
Oof.
And oh yeah, and he was in the hospital for like over a month. Not so much from the transplant, but from the nicked intestine. And I was going back and forth to the hospital like every other day. Fortunately, I did not have any kids at home, so I didn't have to deal with that, but I had dogs, right? And so I'm working, and I forgot his Thanksgiving appointment. Okay. And I didn't realize it until Christmas rolled around. And I'm like, oh crap. I can't believe how can I forget Macbeth? Macbeth is done every 4 weeks. I've been doing him forever. Okay. He's memorable because he's a pain in the ass. Okay. And so when I booked the Christmas appointment, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot to book your Thanksgiving appointment. All right. And she said to me, she says, you know what? We assumed something must have happened because it's not like you to forget. We were fine. He's going down naked anyway. We didn't care. Okay. So, and that is really having the right clients, and why so many of us say, and we beat you over the head with this point, having good clients who respect you as a professional. All right. Are the clients that you want.
To add to that, not only do I not care about canceling when I don't feel well, but one of my longest standing mobile clients informed me last night that her daughter had pink eye.
And you're not going near that house right now.
So yeah, I didn't go today. Like, we're gonna wait on that, because no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've got a week and a half that I need to get through. And if I get pink eye from bringing your dogs out to my van, that will put me down for days.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
you really need that rest before that baby comes.
yeah.
You know what? I'm of the opinion that pregnancy should be like 7 months. After 7 months, pop that baby out, because those last 2 months are killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have them set up on my very last days, my very last stop next week. And I'm already brewing up a game plan of how I'm gonna get them in the van and throw them both in the tub at the same time and do something I don't usually bathe dogs together, but it's gonna happen this time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you have to make adjustments, but what I'm also wanted to talk about. So have any of your clients done any baby presents?
Oh, wait,
Yes.
wait.
Am I jumping ahead of the
No, you're not jumping ahead of the schedule, but I am very excited about this one. So I'm going to take a commercial break because I don't want to rush baby presents because I was very excited to hear this one. So we'll be right back. I love being a house call groomer, but I hate doing laundry or worrying about asking my clients for fresh towels. Raypet has solved those problems for me with the Wet Pet disposable towel, taking up much less space than traditional cotton towels and easy to wring out and reuse. These super soft, comfy, absorbent towels eliminate any cross-contamination concerns between pets. And now their new smaller washcloth size can even help those sensitive eye areas. Great for cleaning out wrinkles gently and thoroughly. Need to keep water bowls for your clients on hand that are easy to disinfect, but hate all the room traditional clanky metal bowls take up? Or just have a very active pet? Their collapsible silicone bowl comes with an aluminum D-ring hook that can be attached to your pet's leash or anywhere else in your van for easy storage. You can get one by itself or in their handy travel kit, along with a set of 3 tick removers and 1 small wet pet towel. So stop by their website to check it out, raypet.net, and tell them the Traveling Groomer sent you. Okay, we're back. Presents. Oh my God. Tell me how your clients spoiled you. I want to live vicariously through this.
So probably my favoriteest client who got invited to the baby shower. She's the only one.
Nice.
Not that I could have invited all of them, but that's a topic for another day. But
There's a fun,
I'll
clients
tell you
being,
after we're off this.
okay. Clients
Um,
being friend zoned is a tricky situation. And if you invite all of your clients to the baby shower, not only does it make your baby shower more expensive, but it seems like you're macking for gifts.
Well, anyway,
But
this one, she's made us. She likes to sew and be very crafty. So she's already made us half of the child's wardrobe,
Oh, wow.
including blankets,
Wow.
including also buying some stuff off the registry. And she just made yesterday, because we finally decided on a middle name. So yes, I did her dog this morning instead of the dogs with the pink eye child. And she made us like a big named board with his name on it that she just pulled out of her butt last night.
Wow.
It's I don't think it's ever going to end. She's just and she's wonderful. Her dog is.
She was planning that and had it half prepped until you told her what the middle name was.
She had to have, but she's crafty like that. She probably just had supplies, and then when I finally told her what the middle name was, she's like, all right, done. She's so wonderful, in fact, that she's actually going, when I'm on maternity leave, she's going to come to the house. She used to be a house cleaner and an organizer. So she's going to come in and help me organize and deep clean the house for me. The last bits, so that I don't have to think about it or worry about it anymore.
Wow, you know what?
Nice.
Anybody who's listening to this is in your area is thinking, how do I steal that particular client?
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. This lady loves me to pieces. In fact, she was the client that in my therapies in mobile with waffles. I did a whole section on waffles. My skin and coat client. Yeah, she ain't going nowhere. Nobody can steal her. No.
Okay. But we still want to know what were the gifts that you got. So there's pros and cons to everything. So let's go with the pros.
I haven't gotten any cons actually. Nobody's gotten me anything weird. One of my favorite clients that did end up moving to Florida and left me got me some really adorable dog themed clothing before she left.
Because of course.
Because of course. They haven't gone crazy. The one with the kids that has pink eyes, she's making me a crocheted blanket that she should hopefully have done by next week.
And will then no longer be contagious. Just put it in a Ziploc bag for like a day.
I'll just wash it. I've got stuff for washing knitted thing. Not a big deal. Yeah, no, it hasn't been crazy, but today one of my other clients made me a dozen chocolate chip cookies because her chocolate chip cookies are by far the best.
Nice.
And so I got that. Some of them have been tipping a little extra and stuff like that, or buying me things and haven't had a chance to give them to me yet and stuff like that. So, but no, I'll be honest. We didn't get a whole lot of frivolous things. People have actually been quite smart with what they've been giving us.
Cool.
That's
Okay.
nice.
So it's been so long since I've been pregnant. Almost a century ago, Chris.
I'm not sure about a century ago.
Okay.
Maybe a quarter century. How old's your
no,
youngest?
Way more than a quarter century, Chris.
How old's your youngest?
My youngest, she's gonna be like in her oh God, I don't even know. Hold on a second. Good thing she doesn't listen to this.
I'm going to tag Amanda in this one.
No, man is the middle one.
Well, then she's the troublemaker and we'll tell your youngest. So there you go.
She's not going to be at Super Zoo this year.
She's not going to watch me.
My youngest is 39.
So closer to half a century.
Yes.
Half. There you go.
Okay. But anyway, so the mobile van, how comfortable is it to drive while pregnant? We
haven't, like I said, I'm on the smaller side that I've been informed. I'm not really having any issue with it. I'm still able to make it through my door, the divider door that the Hanveys have. I'm still able to make it through there. So,
oh, wow.
I really can't complain. I really, really can't complain.
Okay. If you could have done something different from the start, all right, not that you've made the change already, what would that be?
Not get pregnant yet? Wait a little bit longer?
Well, and never mind. I was going to say something and then I remembered how douchey it was when people did this to me. So I'm not going to say shit about your age and your choices, because as someone who doesn't have kids and desperately wanted them, guys, don't fucking ask women if they're having kids yet or what are they waiting for. Number one, none of your business.
Yep.
Number two, you don't know what's going on in their life. Number three, their body is, wait for it, none of your business. I could go on.
The biggest thing, and it's fine. It's fine. It's just I'm trying to get my teaching career off of, whatever. And this added some crunch time and delay, for that, but it's whatever. It's whatever. Other than that, I can't really complain.
All right. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about why I wanted to do these segments. But I'm going to go ahead and take our next commercial break about a minute early, because this is a nice natural stopping place. Are you happy, Mary?
Yes, I'm happy. I'm happy you're not a slave to the outline.
I'm not a slave to the outline. The outline is a guide that I have created to keep us on track And just to bust with you, oh, look, now it's actually time. Everything else in the world seems to have changed. Positive Ed has too, but for the better. Online learning is here to stay, and Positive Educational Training has brought the trade show to you with Summit memberships. For one monthly price of $97, you get 6 to 10 hours of content streamed live to your sofa, or let's be honest, grooming table. Forgot to attend live? No problem. You have 6 weeks to watch at your convenience. That's 3 weeks more than non-members, and for up to $50 less than non-members paid. With a monthly support call and summits tailored to the pet industry and designed to include all learning styles, what are you waiting for? Check out positiveed.com today and get the support you need to take action in your business. All right, Mary. So why I wanted to go through this was I was kind of starting at the other end of the spectrum, and I went on a rant to you about menopause because we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
We don't. And what I find, one of the things I find really beautiful about the younger generations, and yes, I am Gen Z officially. So I have simultaneously provided tech support to a boomer and a millennial, literally at the same time. But one of the things I learned from my boomer I had one parent that was silent generation and one parent that was boomer. That would explain a lot of me fucked upness in the head. But certain things were not talked about. Like, it was a joke on Archie Bunker. That was a politically incorrect show that played back in the olden days when I was a child. But it was a politically incorrect show. And Edith, the wife in that, was talking to her daughter, and she said, well, when she got married, her mother gave her a lecture and said, well, you know, there's certain things that she had to do as a wife that she wasn't going to like, but it was her duty as a wife to do it. And Edith thought that meant the dishes. That was her sex talk. My grandmother was incapable of giving my mom a sex talk, but they kind of grew up not on a farm, but on a rural area where they saw where the baby goats came from and they saw things. So they knew about the birds and the bees. But so one of the beautiful, beautiful things about the younger generations is there's so much more freedom to talk about ourselves and our lives and our bodies. And it's normal. It's natural. I know grown women who can't say the word vagina because they're embarrassed to say it. They can say hoo-ha, all those little, like, I all of the other words, snatch, kitty. They can say all of the other words, but they can't say vagina in public. And I'm like, that's the one word you should be able to say. You have one, own it. It's okay. It's not a crime. So as we're being freer to talk about these things and talk about our periods and PMS and having babies and what we go through, there's still a little bit of a stigma on certain things. Like, I feel there's still certain things we don't talk about, menopause being a biggie. Like, so many people don't know what exactly women go through, a lot of the symptoms they go through. I was staring down the barrel of 50. I think mine was probably more caused by my medicine, but I'm like, am I in? Am I out? What does that mean? I don't fucking know. How do I not know? How am I a grown ass woman that doesn't know about this? It's a little embarrassing.
What's even more
Anyway.
embarrassing is how much or how little the actual whole doctor
Oh yeah.
healthcare thing knows about women.
Oh yeah. I was complaining to one of my friends over dinner last night, and I was like, Cam, just focus on your onion rings right now. Don't listen. Because her father was a doctor. And she said when her father went to medical school, he said the amount of time they had as a general practitioner covering, women's issues. Guess how much time in his 4 years of medical school?
Day and a half.
4 hours.
Okay.
I mean, one would hope that's better now. I mean, he's in his 70s now and retired, but one would hope that's better now.
No, because
But
I don't think so, because and not even a doctor, physician assistant, okay, is a man. All right. And I don't think he knows jack shit about anything women related, specifically the stuff that women have to deal with that men do not.
yeah. So guys, there will be a menopause episode coming up at some point in the future. And I will put a trigger warning in front of it for if anyone does not want to hear about it. We'll go, this is what we're talking about. Feel free to not listen. But know that I'll silently judge you a little bit if you don't listen for just that reason. Just know that. I might not, I'll be nice and polite about it, but you have women. If you're not a woman, you have women in your life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also, this is a good place to because there's going to be a little break in the episodes, because after this airs, we're going to Super Zoo. And there's going to be no episode the week before Super Zoo, because I'm going to be on vacation, so we're not doing that.
Yeah. Because we're
so but after that, what we're looking for is we want, besides the menopause episode, we want to talk about also something that doesn't get discussed a lot too, is the chronic
silent invisible disabilities.
Yeah, fibromyalgia, IBS. So if you are a groomer and you're dealing with this, we would like to get you on to discuss how you're dealing with it, with a job that's really very physical.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to topic.
No, that was all on topic. It was not 100% in order, but it's fine.
Okay.
It's all on topic.
As long as I'm sticking to the outline, Chris.
As long as you're sticking to the outline. I love it how you stick to the outline better when you don't even have it. So I think that this is now going to be a thing.
All right. Okay. So let me.
So you're still going to feel like you're spontaneous, because that was your issue last time, right?
Ashley.
Yes.
All right. If I am following along with what Chris wants to talk about, what is the point of having an outline?
Maybe I need it, Mary. Huh? Did you ever think about that?
Okay.
Maybe I need it to keep my little squirrel brain organized.
Okay.
Yeah. So
because yes,
I was going to say, if you want to know the one thing that I've definitely been dealing with, I will agree that I am probably not having as hard of a time as many other women do. However, the swelling has started.
Ooh.
And while I don't normally have any issues with my scissoring hand, I do have to wear a brace at night, because sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I can't even make a fist anymore. Now I'm finding that it's not actually bothering me while I'm working. I can work just fine. It's when I'm resting or attempting to rest that I am uncomfortable.
Okay. That actually makes sense. Because I've been having some mild issues with trigger finger in my left hand, oddly enough, and it pops up after I'm resting. It's fine when I'm loosened up, but it's either first thing in the morning or if I'm sitting watching TV and it's just still and in one position for too long, that's when it happens. But yeah, no, we are perfectly on topic and on schedule. And Mary, it is time to take our last commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about self-care. And I promised you an update on the autodog brush.
Oh, yes.
I did. I promised both of you an update. So after these messages, you're going to hear all about it. And speaking of continuing education, because we either were or will be, join the Andis World Class Education team each month for live interactive virtual classes. You'll learn new and trending styles, as well as tips and tricks from some of the best groomers in the industry. Whether you're looking for basic skills, trending styles, advanced techniques, or even just ways to spark your creativity, the new Andis Grooming Education site is your source for finding what you need to create your way for success. Try new techniques, learn from the pros, and grow your confidence today at andis.com/groomer education. Traveling Groomer Podcast listeners, hey, that's you, can get 25% off your first course today with the code VEGROOMING at checkout on andis.com/groomer education. Woohoo. Okie dokie. So I did use the autodog brush, and full disclosure, because I'm not supposed to be standing and walking, I did not wash my dog, but I did use a lot of sprays because I don't want to be brushing a dry coat. And yes, Mary, there were matted parts.
Oh, I have no doubt. She sent me a video of her doing it, and I'm thinking, if that were my dog, he'd be
You'd shave it down.
Oh, he'd be shaved down. I would know. He'd be shaved down. We'd be starting over.
Well, it's only, believe it or not, I did shave him down with a 5 a couple of months ago, and I just left the palms. But, oh, so you got the video.
Yes.
What did you think from the video?
I think, you know what? All right. So here's the thing. I think that it looks like it does a decent job, but I think your dog was to the point where you're going to be there like all day doing that.
But that was also dirty coat. Like if I washed and conditioned him and blew him out, I don't think I would be there all day. Yeah, I think it would be a huge difference. Now, that being said, do I think I could do it faster manually? Possibly. But did I feel zero hand and arm fatigue when I was using this brush?
All right.
Because I also used it at a different time where I had him in my living room and he was just like laying down and I'm like brushing out his hip and stuff. I felt zero hand and arm fatigue. There is a teeny bit of a learning curve, but it works, and you will take it from me when you pry it from my cold, dead hands.
Okay.
Like every tool, I think there's a place for different tools. There is 100% a place for this in your arsenal. If he was washed and dried, and I was doing this on a pretty not free coat to fluff up, would it be like, whoop? Yeah.
Okay.
It would be mighty quick. So yes, learning curve. You do have to, like on the matted areas, you have to line brush. Like you have to part the coat and try to get it close to the skin to get it to actually demat and brush out, but zero skin irritation because of how that plastic part is, how the guard is. The words have failed me. Tines, slicker, pins, they really did not scrape the skin. If I tried, yes, I could get it to, but I wouldn't want to hurt my dog on purpose. And as you saw, it did have an auto shut off.
Okay.
Like for the long bits of hair, if too much got sucked into it, it shut off. I pulled it out, waited, it started again. I tried leaving it in there once, just for like a couple minutes to see if it would try to start again with hair still blocking it, and it did not.
Okay. So it's a tool worth consideration, right?
Absolutely. And I think so many people walk past it and be like, because it looks crazy. Absolutely a tool worth consideration, especially if you're having any kind of hand, wrist, elbow, or shoulder issues.
They were at Super Zoo last year.
Okay. If you're going to be at Super Zoo this year, I would 100%.
I take it back. I believe they were at Super Zoo last year.
Okay.
I know they had the self sharpener tool there at Super
Yeah,
Zoo.
the different company.
Okay.
Different company. That's the Saver.
Tool
Shear
Saver.
Yeah, that's a different company.
Okay. All right.
So we got our update on our autodog brush. We're going to do, what are we doing for self-care either this past week or this coming week? This past week, I self-cared by screaming into the void and allowing myself one afternoon to fully melt down and cry.
You know what? Okay. I have no reason to do that this week, but I'm going to say that is actually a really good thing to do every now and again.
Yep.
The very temporary pity party.
Yes. And I set a time limit for it because it was already late afternoon on a Friday. And I'm like, this is it. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning with a better attitude.
Yeah.
But
and I think we need sometimes just to get that out of our system. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sit there, feel sorry for yourself. Boy, life sucks. Why does this poor me? Okay. Why does this happen to me? Get it out of your system. Depending on the situation, I may set a timer for like an hour. And in that hour, I will just piss and moan and just say how horrible things are. And then the timer goes off and like, feel better, Mary? Okay, back to work.
And depending on what you're going through at any given time,
yes,
I think it's perfectly reasonable. Like I set an afternoon and said, I'm going to be better tomorrow, which because I gave myself that outlet and allowed myself to feel my feelings, I was much better yesterday when the car broke down and we were sitting in the sun in the hot car for 2.5 hours waiting to get the tow situation sorted out. I was a lot better today when I got the news that the car was dead, or for all intents and purposes in hospice care. But if you're going through something bigger, if you're suffering grief or loss or dealing with a massive illness, give yourself a certain amount of time per day. Because semi-related digression, I saw something on Facebook today and somebody was like, why are groomers so angry and bitter? Because there seemed to be a lot of that in the industry. And somebody commented, well, we're overworked, underpaid, have $1,000, like all these animals of our own to take care of. It's enough to make anyone angry and bitter. And I didn't respond because I couldn't find a way to express in type what I wanted to say without trying to invalidate her feelings, because I understand that. But coming from the perspective of where I am right now, where I'm going to be out of work for approximately 10 weeks, facing surgery, and I need a new car. Hell, I can go even further and go, okay, 3 years ago, I had breast cancer and I dealt with that. And then my house flooded and then this just happened. But it's a choice on how you then react to things. You can't help what happens to you. You can only help how you react to it. So, yeah, Those are valid reasons for being unhappy. What of those can you change? Because we are responsible for our own happiness. And I pissed about 10 people off. At least one person wanted to punch me in the face right there. Because the first time I heard that, it made me angry and I wanted to punch somebody in the face. Because horrible things happen and we're not always going to be happy. But the bottom line is we can't look to other people and outside things to make us happy. We're responsible in that. We're responsible for ourselves and our feelings.
Okay.
So feel them, acknowledge them, and do what we can to move through. Boom. Oh, Mary, before we go,
Yes.
we have some giveaways, not just for the live podcast we're doing in Super Zoo.
Okay. Tell us about that, Chris.
So I will have some passes for Hershey. And I didn't want to make these giveaways for Super Zoo because I wanted to, I didn't want to give away something from another company. Like I didn't want to give away a Barkley pass at a WPA thing. I thought that was weird. So at Chicago, come find me at the Evolution Shears booth and say, you'd really like some safe travels to Hershey. I might have some passes to the trade show for you. That is lovingly supplied by Raypet.
Okay. So, Ashley, all right. Thank you so much for being here. Chris, do you have any more questions for her before we wrap it up?
You know what? I'm sure I'll think of some in the middle of the night, but that's why I have an outline, because I had most of my questions and topics down and I got to them. So I won't have that regret.
Self-care for a pregnant person. Wear
Yes.
compression socks.
Oh, yeah. Wear
They are my
compression
lifeblood
socks.
right now. I wear them
Now,
every day.
I have a TMI question about compression socks
Mm.
because I have tried them. Do you wear regular socks, like regular ankle socks, over them?
No.
Okay, so the reason I might ask that is I tried compression socks and I eventually gave them up because my feet sweat a lot and compression socks have zero absorbency. So it would be foot soup at the end of the day and it was not fun.
I'm assuming it's going to depend on what type of compression, like what they're made out of.
Yeah. I had like
there's a lot of different types. I ended up ordering some new ones, and while they should technically fit me, they don't very well.
Okay.
But my older set that I have does still fit. It's just I was trying to get some more. Well, whatever.
All right. So pro tip, if you've got some really pretty compression socks that are nylon and have gorgeous patterns on them and go up to your knee, but your feet sweat, just put on a little pair of cotton ankle socks over those. That'll help. That and Go Balance powder. Yeah.
But they're really good for you.
Yeah.
It's definitely helped me stay on my feet during the day, especially with the humidity. The humidity will make you swell more. And I just wish I could also have compression socks for my hands and arms.
They make them because
They make them. They make compression sleeves. They do.
I'm gonna have to look at those.
Yep. We'll be looking on Amazon with you right after we stop recording. But all right. Any other tips? Mary, what's your self-care for this week?
I'm just taking it easy. My vacation's around the corner.
You're checking things off your list so you can go on vacay. Yeah.
Most everything is checked off my list. Only things that are kind of left on there are things that can only be done at a specific time.
Okay.
So, and I can't do those ahead of time. So here I am.
Okay.
Listening to audiobooks.
In your summer office.
In my summer office.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today. I will find out when we end this recording how far over time we went, but I think we did okay. I don't have no idea. I have no idea. I lost
Okay.
track. But thank you for joining us and safe travels. Thanks, Ashley. Well, that was fun, but now it's time to head home. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed chatting with you. If there are any topics you'd like us to discuss or guests you want to see join us on this crazy road trip of ours, let us know in the Traveling Groomers Facebook page. Don't forget to thank our sponsors and see you next week, guys. Safe travels.